In many of my videos, you may see me inviting you to practice the self-inquiry pointer, in which you are asked to, rather than being so immersed in the content of your thinking, you are asked to notice the awareness in which they appear. So for example, you are the seer of the thought that is arising in your experience, correct? So rather than being so interested in what the thought is saying, which is entirely conceptual, right? It's just another conceptual story. Rather than being so immersed in the thought that is appearing in your seeing and what it's projecting and going outward, what you are being invited to do is notice that you are aware of the thought. Notice the awareness which is prior to the thought, in whose seeing the thought is arising and subsiding. Arising and subsiding. Okay, once again, instead of being immersed in and totally hypnotized by and lost in the content of the thought that is appearing, going outward in concepts into unreality, you are being asked to acknowledge the awareness from where you are already seeing this thought. Right? That is the essence of self-inquiry. Rather than outwardness, inwardness. So I received a question on one of my recent videos. Let me read it out to you. The question is, Sunny, you say don't notice what the thought is saying, but notice the awareness in which it appears. What happens is, my person takes your instruction literally and tries to notice awareness. Now you will ask, what notice the person noticing? This impossible exercise of trying to notice awareness with awareness doesn't result in any experiential shift. It feels as if awareness is designed to look at everything else other than itself. So it's always nice to see how many cunning ways that the mind uses to confuse you in this practice. It is not the awareness which is designed to look at everything other than itself. So this is just a habitual tendency right now, which is outwardness, and also just thought trying to conceptualize what it means, thought creating another idea about what it means to notice the awareness. So I want you to see it so simply in this way. It is not an endless loop of, hey, what is aware of this? What is aware of this? What is aware of this? And there's always some awareness in the background. Start here. You know you are aware of experience, correct? Not something else, not somewhere within you or some deep within you is awareness. No, you know you are aware of experience. Everything that arises in your experience, you are aware of, right? That is a fact. That is not a concept. Even for us to say that as a concept or say that I am not aware, even that there's awareness of. This fact you cannot escape. It is the only fact of your entire experience. Everything else can be questioned. Everything else can be an illusion. The only thing that cannot be illusion is the fact I am. I am aware. So you have to start there, that you are the knower of experience. You are the knower of all things that appear, including even the subtlest thoughts. Right? So when I say notice the awareness, I'm not trying to, make it confusing for you and make you like, oh, go deep within yourself or something like that. All that you are being asked to do is, so this thought appears, that this thought says, hey, I don't get this. This is too complicated, right? That is the content of that thought, which is conceptualizing. It is an idea. The arising of the thought itself is actual. That is direct experience, but what it says is conceptual. I don't get this. This is complicated. The arising of the thought is seen, not by something else, not by some deep awareness, by you. You are aware of the arising of the thought. You're not being asked to do anything crazy or fancy. You are simply being asked to acknowledge that you are aware, that you are the awareness in which thought is appearing. So when we say, notice the awareness of thought or become aware of awareness, you are noticing the place already from where you are seeing the thought that is appearing. This is not an endless regression. This is not impossible. Let go of such ideas. This being impossible is another idea that the thought that is arising is projecting as a concept, of which also there's awareness. Not something mystical, not something crazy. You are aware of even this thought. All that is being asked of you is, rather than just being endlessly immersed in the concepts that are arising and taking yourself to be them, you just take yourself to be the thinking that is happening. And you say these things like they are true, but they are just nonsense ideas. Instead of just believing in thought, instead of just being immersed in the content of the thought that is arising, acknowledge you are aware. Notice or be aware of the fact, I'm aware. And stop expecting this to be so easy and just come like this. This requires a little sort of like devotion and practice, because yes, it is difficult. It is difficult because it is habitual. Habitually, we are only conditioned to know objects. We are conditioned to only be immersed in what we know, neglecting the very fact of knowing. So now you are being invited to come to the noticing of, the awareness of awareness itself, the fact of being aware itself, rather than the object that you are aware of. So yes, this will be a little sticky at first, but don't lose yourself to such mental concepts that say, oh, this is doable. This is immaturity. This is spiritual immaturity. And if you keep believing in the thoughts that arise, you will always remain entangled. Notice how you want to go deep into this practice, but you keep on resisting the teaching. You keep on just believing in and buying into the endlessly doubting and resisting mind. How can then ever there be any sort of understanding or progress with this? So self-inquiry, although seems abstract and complicated, it is so simple. You are aware. Okay? You are aware of experience, in which the thinking is arising and subsiding, appearing and disappearing. It is not new to you that thoughts come and go, thoughts change. You know this. Why? Because you are aware of the thinking that is coming and going. Now, all that you're being asked to do is acknowledge you are aware. Become aware of awareness itself. And it is not impossible. Be present to the fact of being aware. Notice or be aware how you are aware. Awareness is not something within you. Awareness is from where you see thought, from where you see the changeful body. You are already that from where you are seeing everything that you know and call to be true and real. But it is not the world that is appearing and the person that is appearing that are true and real. The knowing of them. And you are the knower. That ultimately is leading you to the truth of yourself. So I have 2 resources for you if you want to go deeper into this practice. One is my free self-inquiry guide, which you can access down below in the description. And number 2 is my self-inquiry program, which is called the School of Awakening. It is like a day-by-day structured course which will take you deeper into this practice. And along with going through that daily course, We do weekly Q&As twice per week. We do guided meditations. We have a lovely community structure around it so we can interact with each other. It is so helpful with this practice. So if you want to go deeper into it and dissolve mind identification and really become established in the principles of these teachings, I highly encourage you to consider enrolling in that. So I hope that today's video was helpful and it brought clarity into the self-inquiry practice. Keep practicing. Consistency is the key. Do not get frustrated. Be patient with yourself. Keep practicing. I'll see you next time. Bye.